Hello. In this next section we're going to edit a web page. First we need to download the required files from the Hothouse Design website. So I go to my web browser and type in the URL given, and I can see here is a list of files. I can download these separately, or it's much easier just to download the zip file and then unzip them in one go. So I'll save this as a file in my paper 3 folder. Now when I tab to Finder, I can see here's the downloaded file. To unzip it, I just double click and we can see all of the files have been extracted into this newly made folder. Now the instructions ask me to place all the files in a folder called Web11N, so I'll just rename this folder. I can rename it by pressing enter, type in the new name Web11N, and there it is. Next I need to open one of the images to manipulate it. So I find the image in Finder N1BG5 and I'm going to right click and open this with Gimp, which is a good simple image editing program. So here's the image, and what I need to do to this image is resize it so that it's 800 pixels wide. I can do this by going to the Image menu, Scale Image, and enter the new width as 800 pixels. Now when I press Tab, or if I click on another box, we can see the height has been automatically resized, and that's because this link between the width and height that maintains the aspect ratio is on. If I wanted to change the aspect ratio, I'd need to click here and break the link, but in this case I don't want to do that. Next I need to take a screenshot to show how I've done this, so Shift Control Command 4, and I'll just select this box here, go to my evidence document, I can paste that in at the top. Now I want to save this image as N1BG6, so close this box. Here we can see the image has been rescaled. File, save as, change the file name to BG6, click save. The quality, well, let's leave the quality at 100, because in the next step, step 32, it asks us to reduce the image resolution if necessary to ensure that the stored image is no larger than 50 kilobytes. So back to Finder, we can see that BG5, 179 kilobytes, BG6, that's the smaller image, is still 170 kilobytes. Now we need to reduce the resolution or reduce the quality of this image to make it less than 50 kilobytes. So back to Gimp. All we need to do is save the file again, this time save it as BG7, and when it asks us for the quality, well, we reduce the quality to a reasonable amount that will still look decent but will be much smaller in file size. Anything between 80 to 90 should be reasonable. Save that. And now in Finder we can see BG7 is 39 kilobytes. That's well within the limit we're given. Now we need a screenshot to show the file size of these images. So again, Shift Control Command 4, and just select these 3 files. paste that in the evidence document. Now, one more image to manipulate, that's n1 swim.gif. So again, go to Finder, find the file, right click, open with GIMP. And here's a swimmer swimming towards the left. All the instruction asks us to do is to flip this so that the swimmer is swimming towards the right. So here we can image, transform, flip horizontally. Now the swimmer is swimming towards the right. So we can save the file, save as, and call it n1 swim 2. And we want to save it as a JPEG, not a GIF, so select file type, save it as JPEG. And that's automatically changed the file extension for us. Save that. We want to keep it a color image, so convert to RGB. Export. Quality, let's leave it at 85. And here we can see the new JPEG image. Now, we need to use a suitable software package, that would be Kompozer, to open an HTML file that we're going to edit. So n1 javelin.htm. So we go to Kompozer, and let's open n1 javelin.htm. Now, the file currently has stylesheet n1 style6.css attached, and we can see this may not be the most suitable style sheet to have attached. Firstly, the text in this light blue color is very difficult to read. Secondly, the background image appears to be the very large image that's not yet been resized. So we need to look at these other style sheets and choose the most appropriate one. So to change the style sheet, click on the CSS button. We want to remove the style sheet, so click the delete button, click the arrow next to the palette, linked style sheet. Let's see what number 7 looks like. Click open, click create style sheet, then click OK. How does this look? Well, there's some tiny text at the top, and then there's some huge text that's far too big to fit on the screen. So that's not good. Try again. Delete number 7, link to number 8. Create style sheet. Okay. Now this looks reasonable. The text is a good color, a good size. Still linked to the large size background image, but apart from that it's fine. Let's just try the other one. That's number 9. So delete number 8. Link to number 9. Create style sheet. Okay. And this doesn't look good. The pink is almost impossible to read against the light green. So obviously we want to keep number 8. So delete number 9 and go back to number 8. And it says resize the browser window so that the background image fits the window without tiling. Well, it doesn't fit at all because we're still using the old version of the image. So to make sure we're using the new version, the resized version, let's edit the CSS. Click the CSS button, go to the body. Here we can see the background image But we want to be using BG7, that's our resized image that is less than 50K. Click OK. That is good. Now we want to view this in our browser so that the background image fits the window without tiling. So let's just take a look in our browser. So if we save the file, click Browse, it opens in my default browser, which here is Firefox, and I just need to resize the image so there's no tiling. Tiling means that the image starts repeating on the right once we reach the edge of the image. That would do. Next, I need to do some more editing. I need to replace the text, candidate name, etc. with my own details. I need to change the HTML so that the image n1javelin.jpg. Where's that? I guess that's this guy throwing the javelin. So I can click the image button in the toolbar. Dimensions need to be custom size 80 pixels. You can see the height automatically changes with that. Click OK. We don't need alternate text, so press OK there. Choose don't use alternate text. OK. So the javelin guy has been resized with the aspect ratio maintained. Now in the middle table, that is this table here, this table here, the cell padding and spacing need changing. So if I double click on the table, I can change in the tables tab, I can change the spacing to 4 pixels and the padding to 4 pixels. OK. Next, in the bottom table, I need some images to replace these 4 words. So I need to find a picture that represents archery and so on. So to replace archery, click Image, browse for an image, I need to find the right folder. And if I view these as icons, then I can see what might look like an archer. Well, there's an archer. Again, always need to remember to select don't use alternate text if we're not using any. Now I can delete the word archery. Athletics. Well, athletics would be someone running. I guess this guy with this funny shaped leg looks like he's running. That will do it for athletics. Cycling. If I select the word before I import, then it will automatically replace the word. I don't need to delete it later. So someone cycling. There we go. And someone fencing. So a guy with a sword. Looks like that. Now, each of the images I've placed should be 50 pixels high. You can see that 3 of them they look suitable, and the one on the end is not. So if I double click the image, click on dimensions, custom size, change the height to 50 pixels. And the aspect ratio was maintained when I resized that. Next, I need to find the words click here, select them, and create a link to a new website. So we're linking to this URL, and the link should be opened in a named window. So to do that, we choose link to be opened in this frame, and here we give the name to the frame or the window we'll open in. Next, I need a hyperlink from the image of the swimmer. That's the guy swimming towards the right, pointing to a web page n1swim1.htm. So click link. We can add in this link. This should be a relative link, so I just type in the file name. And the default is to open in the current window, so I don't need to do anything about how it opens. Now, Kompozer seems to have resized the image. It's not changed the width, but it's changed the height. So let's sort that out. Double click on the image again, click on dimensions. We see here the width should be 80 pixels, but somehow the height has changed to is at the original height of 154 pixels. So to sort this out, let's click on actual size, then redo the custom size, click constrain to maintain the aspect ratio, change the width back to 80 pixels, click OK, and that's how it looks before, so that's fine. Now we need to save this web page with a certain file name, so file, save as n1javelin1.htm. Save. I need to print a copy of the source, but I'll do that in a second from my browser. First, let's open the page in the browser, so click on Browse again. Here's the page. Everything looks good. We need to make sure the entire page is visible, but we don't want the background image to be tiled. So extend the window to the bottom. That's OK. Shift Control Command 4. Select the window. Paste this back in the evidence document. And then let's go back to printing the HTML source. So from Firefox, I can right-click on the page, view page source. I like to do this in Firefox instead of Kompozer because Firefox neatly colors the different sections of the code. So I can print this. Here I'll just print a preview, print to PDF. Then at the end of the exam I need to go through this and I need to highlight certain things. So I need to find and highlight name, candidate number and center number. Where does it say the external style sheet is attached? It's here. Where does it say the image N1 Javelin is sized? Well, here it is. Whereas the middle table and its padding and spacing, that's here. Whereas the sizing of the images in the bottom table, that's here. and in the rows beneath that. Whereas the hyperlink from the text click here, this is the hyperlink. However, it should say target equals hothouse web. So there's a mistake there. I need to go back and change. And finally, the hyperlink from the image. Here's the image, here's a hyperlink from the image. So I can highlight that. So everything's included except the link. So go back to Kompozer. Let's see what's wrong with this. Link is to be opened. This information wasn't saved for some reason, so let's try that again. Save this and browse it again. Still doesn't work, so we'll have to do this manually. Let's go back to the HTML source, add in the target, save that, browse again, and the final time it works. So I can print that and submit it. I also need to save the evidence document and print it and submit it. And that's the end of this paper, so thank you for watching.